Welcome back to the We Talking About Sports podcast. We promised you we'd be back one more time for the Super Bowl, and this time we're just going to focus on the Super Bowl. Nothing else, none of the wild card games, none of the previous playoff games. We're here to talk about the Super Bowl. The big game's just a few days away, boys. I'm going to get this started with a little banter, and we're going to find out what's going to be on the menu for Super Bowl Sunday. I want to open up with that. Roland, what's on the menu for Super Bowl Sunday?
Oh man, I haven't thought that much. Just make sure there's some good food in front of me, something to keep me busy throughout at least the first half of the game, and just some drinks too, some adult beverages.
It
So
has to be that, right?
nothing specific, but for sure, you got to have the adult beverages there.
All right, guys. Anybody else like me that likes to curate a menu for Super Bowl Sunday? Ben, is that happening for you?
Yeah, I'm going to a Super Bowl party in San Antonio, and the menu's based off wings. So we're going to deep fry some wings and a brisket. One brisket and some wings. And then, all the finger foods, the buffalo dip, the buffalo chicken dip, and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to Sunday, bro. We have big things planned on Sunday, so I'm really looking forward to the weekend.
What about you, Ron? What do you got going for Super Bowl Sunday? What's the plan? What's the party like for you?
The plan for us is family time, man. We usually go to my mom's crib, and it's either hot dogs, burgers, or
glizzies. You gotta have them there.
like chopped brisket, which is, of course.
Yeah, so real Americanized. It's all about the appetizers. I think for me, I like the cheese dips. I like the mini corn dogs, stuff like that. That's what I really like to get going on Super Bowl Sunday. But you know what? Let's get into this Super Bowl.
Yeah, the mini corn dogs
full
hard.
Hey, mini or full size?
Super Bowl.
The minis, bro. The minis.
Yeah, just one at a time.
Those only come out for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Roland. We got a big show today, Roland. A lot of topics. I want you to run down here what we got to do today. I know you made this one. Looks pretty good.
It's the Super Bowl. We had to bring out all the stops. It's Super Bowl 58. It's in Las Vegas. You got the glitz, the glamour. Everybody's going to be in Vegas for Super Bowl week. You got a lot planned. Taylor Swift is probably going to be there. I know there's some talk of whether or not she'd make it because she's going to be like in Japan or something, but everybody rest assured she will be there. So we got everything. You got the glitz, the glamour. You got the love story. But here at We Talking About Sports, we're going to get to all the stuff that really matters. So the rundown here on the right side, we're going to go over, is it rematch, past meets present? This is a rematch of a previous Super Bowl. We're going to get into that. Third time's a charm. That's referencing, Shanahan and his goal at trying to get a Super Bowl. Then GOAT talk, off the field distractions, talking about some Taylor Swift and Patrick Mahomes' dad potentially, Mr. Irrelevant or Mr. Clutch. Tail of the tape, we're going to talk about some key matchups and see how these teams stack up against each other. And then, of course, we're going to talk about some bets, get into some fun props, and where each of us lays on the side here.
All right, well, let's get into it. Roland talked about the Super Bowl Live rematch here. A few things for the Chiefs here. This is a rematch where they've won. It's only a few years removed from the rematch, and they're playing in their AFC West rivals' home field, Las Vegas, where the Raiders play. They're very familiar with the turf. They've pretty much that's their other home because of how many times they win away. Ben, I'll kick it to you first. How much does this Super Bowl Live rematch weigh on in this game?
Yeah, I don't weigh the rematch really heavy here. Really, I don't really at all. Besides, obviously, Patrick Mahomes, right, is playing in the game. But for the 49ers, it's a complete new look for them. I'm really not putting much weight on that. I think it's a fresh matchup with, the Brock Purdy story that we're going to talk about a little later in the podcast. So, yeah, man, I'm not putting much weight into it, but I am excited for it.
Ron, what about you? This is the same coach, same GMs. Where do you put the weight in on this rematch?
Not too much weight, bro. Just like Ben said, it's totally different teams, totally different scenarios. There's really not much weight. And it's not even like it was a back-to-back. This is like 4 years ago, so a lot of things have changed. So really not much of a rematch for me. Like it's no like a LeBron Curry where it's like every single year, and then it becomes like this rivalry kind of style. It's just the rematch doesn't hold weight for me.
Roland, does this game count for anything for you in your head?
Not really. I do think there might be a little bit of familiarity. Shanahan was the coach then, so he might be prepared for some of the trickeration that comes with playing the Chiefs and some of the unexpected. But like Ben and Ron mentioned, there's been some turnover in the roster outside of some key players. I do think the 49ers have some of their key offensive players. The Debos and the Kittles of the world were around, but hey, this is a revamped 49ers team. They got an upgrade at quarterback with Purdy over Garoppolo, and then, CMC. This is why he was brought over. So, yeah, a different look and not too much weight on this rematch.
All right, let's get moving on. You did mention Shanahan. I want to ask you guys, what's the bigger storyline here? The Chiefs becoming a dynasty by winning back-to-back, or Kyle Shanahan finally getting over the hump and winning the Super Bowl after failed attempts with the 49ers before and losing as the OC in Atlanta to Brady after being up 28-3. Roland, what's the bigger storyline? What's bigger at play here?
It's tough because, the Chiefs going back to back, I don't think anybody's done it since Tom Brady's Patriots in the early 2000s. So going back to back, one of the tougher feats in all of sports, and especially in the NFL. But I'm going to go with Kyle Shanahan here because he's a coach that's trying to go into that upper echelon. He's trying to be mentioned with the Belichick's of the world. You hear about Shanahan all the time, how much of a game planner he is. He's really good with the X's and O's. He comes from he has a lineage. His dad is a two-time Super Bowl winning coach, or 3 times. I don't know how many times his father won, but I'd go with Shanahan in this situation. Him getting his first and trying to avoid going 0-3 because, like you highlighted, Justin, he was involved as the offensive coordinator in that 28-3 debacle against the Pats, and then coming up short against the Chiefs the first time. So I'm gonna go with Shanahan here, trying to get his first one.
Ben, some would argue that the Chiefs are already a dynasty after reaching 6 straight AFC championships and now appearing in their 4th Super Bowl during that period. Winning a 3rd Super Bowl would almost assuredly seal that title. What's the bigger storyline? The Chiefs dynasty or Kyle Shanahan finally getting his?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs, like you said, everybody kind of already considers them a dynasty. So I'm going to agree with Roland. I think the bigger story is Kyle Shanahan finally getting over that hump. We know the lineage that he comes from, the teams that he's had, and how highly regarded he is, without that ring. We got to remember Andy Reid didn't have that ring, till late in his career. So yep. Kyle Shanahan still has a lot of coaching left in his career, and he's making it a habit of being in these games late in the season. He just has to get over that hump, and maybe after he gets over that hump, shit just changes, and he drops it, he puts it on the table, more often. So I'm going to go with the bigger story being Shanahan, getting over that hump.
Ron, Shanahan's been up 20-10 on the Chiefs. He's been up 28-3 as the OC with the Falcons. Is it the bigger story Shanahan getting over the hump, or the Chiefs becoming a dynasty with this 3rd Super Bowl win?
I don't even know how this is a question, man. I mean, how do you look at the guy sitting on the throne and not say that he's not the storyline here? I mean, this is a guy that's arguably one of the greatest, not quarterbacks, but players of all time. 10 years from now, 15 years from now, when our kids are asking us about NFL history and, there's going to be these stories and these 30 for 30s, it ain't going to be on Kyle Shanahan because it's going to be on Patrick Mahomes and how this kid from Texas, with the dad bod and all that stuff, going on here. So the storyline for him is huge. I mean, he can cement his name on the Mount Rushmore of NFL quarterbacks with this win. And with a squad that isn't even with his best squad. He's gone to other Super Bowls with worse teams, with less talent. So I'm not going to think about Kyle Shanahan later on in 5 or 10 years. Coaches come and go. We see it every year in the NFL, but players last forever. And the huge storyline here to me is Patty Mahomes, man. Now, do I want him to win?
Storyline on the Chiefs, cuz Taylor Swift is like, come on, relax.
Okay, so let's just all talk about Kyle
I think Ron brings up a lot of good points, and I think we're going to talk about Mahomes and what he's chasing here in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to see Kyle Shanahan on the cover of Sports Illustrated, bro. You're not
going to see anybody on Sports Illustrated
anymore. I can see him winning like
most
sexiest man, when he gets some grays in his beard.
Pause.
Travis Kelce just won.
That was unprovoked.
Or Jason Kelce just won.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Jason
What's up, Tony? What's up, Mark? Yeah. What's up, Ryan? Everybody in the chat. Thank
Travis Kelce, the inventor of the fade, of the taper fade.
All All right, let's move over to the GOAT talk. So with the win here, that would be Patrick Mahomes' third Super Bowl win. The GOAT talks are starting to heat up already. Ron already referenced the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks. I got to ask you guys, is Patrick Mahomes already on that mountain?
Yeah, he's already on that mountain. He's already on Mount Rushmore today. Like, I think what he's going for is he's chasing Brady. I think he's already surpassed a lot of the great names. I won't say that he's like surpassed like a Joe Montana, like in the the echelon of quarterbacks, but I'd say Mahomes definitely is. He's chasing Brady and Tom Brady only right now. I see Ryan talking about it in the chat, agreeing with Ron. And I agree. He's making it to Super Bowl in a year where we'll talk about the receiving core later, but no one really expected the Chiefs to get there. They were 11-6. They kind of floated around all year. Kind of hit a skid there, but we were questioning, where were the points going to come from? And then lo and behold, Patrick Mahomes goes on another epic run in the playoffs. So Mahomes, no doubt, chasing greatness. To me, I think he's already on that Mount Rushmore. He's already like solidified himself as the best quarterback of this generation, right after Tom Brady leaves. So it's fitting that, the NFL gets another guy to, sit atop the throne. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes, if he gets it done here, for sure is right on Brady's heels.
Ben, what about you? Is he on this Mount Rushmore already? Is he valid enough? You got Montana with 4. I think you have Brady with 7.
Yeah, and he's right after that, because after that comes Peyton Manning.
And Peyton has what, 2?
He's already done more than Peyton Manning has done. I know they did the side-by-side ESPN did on there. He's already won as many playoff games as Peyton Manning did in his career. Like, he's going to blow him out of the water. So Peyton Manning is considered one of, I think most people would put him on Mount Rushmore, but I think Patrick Mahomes has already surpassed him. Definitely still chasing Joe Montana and Tom Brady. He is in the GOAT talk, but Tom Brady is 100% still the GOAT. I mean, until he gets caught. And even when he does, if Mahomes wins them all with the Chiefs, those of us who are Mahomes haters are going to say Brady won him with 2 teams. He left Belichick when he got his chips. So that's GOAT talk.
Ron,
Special
what about you?
Talk.
Is he on the Mount Rushmore already for you as far as quarterbacks go?
I mean, clearly, anybody who says that he's not is just crazy or stupid. Even like Ben said, if you hate the dude, like, you got to give him respect on the field, what he does between the lines. I mean, he just wins. He flat out wins. It's like, who do you want taking the last shot in the NBA? It's like Kobe, Jordan. It's just, you want the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands, just like, and that was the comparison that you would give to Brady. Was always like 2 minutes left in the game, a minute and a half left in the game. Who do you want to have the ball? Brady. And I was like, shit, I want Patrick to have the ball too. So he's not there. I'm not saying that he's the GOAT right now. To be the man, you have to beat the man. And 7 is still a far. Brady had to play how many seasons, to get that? Now I'll give it to you. Patrick is winning them like
quick,
a lot closer, a lot younger in age.
Got a better pace.
How do you know that he's gonna play till Brady's age? How do you know that the injuries aren't gonna come? How do you know that Andy Reid, getting older, might retire? Then he's gonna have to go through a coaching change. There's a lot of X factors, that we could say, what if?
Yeah, Brady had one coach the whole time. You're right. That's a good point.
There you go. Yeah, and then when Belichick left, what the hell happened to the Patriots? They're out there, first, second pick in the draft now, under 500 terrible seasons. But regardless of it, the question here is GOAT talk. He's definitely in the GOAT talk. I would say top. Well, I mean, what do you boys think? Top 4 all
Mount
time?
Rushmore is 4. So if he's on Mount Rushmore, he's in the top 4.
Top 4.
He's already he's like number 3 right now. He's like right behind Montana.
Yeah.
Just because if he wins this one, I'll put him above Montana already. And I don't think he necessarily has to get to 7 to pass Brady. Like, I don't think we have to get all the way to 7.
I think get to 7.
I think if he gets to 5 or 6, and he puts up these crazy numbers
with LeBron and Jordan, right? And Jordan
and he
has
puts
more
up
titles.
but I'm just saying, like, if he has a winning record, we talk about LeBron James because he has a losing record in the finals, I think. So I mean, it's a different conversation.
But I'm saying there's still GOAT talk. There's still that convo.
Yeah.
And LeBron doesn't have
sense.
as many rings, so it validates that you can have that argument.
Yeah, I mean, you can. It's an argument.
People are going to argue it.
I just don't think it's an end all be all, because I'm just saying right now he is on good pace, but I understand if you guys wouldn't want to put him above him. I'm just saying.
All right, last question on this topic I got to ask you guys. We're talking about one game. You got one game here. Who would you rather have as your quarterback, Mahomes or Brady? You got to win
Prime,
one game.
right? Prime, both of them in their prime.
Both of
Shit,
them in their prime. Who are you taking, Mahomes or Brady, in your prime to win the one game? It's a Super
Brady
Bowl.
all day. Brady
You
for
need
me.
it.
Brady.
Just seeing Brady and all those last minute drives and all leading to all those scores, like it was just if he had the ball last, it was no doubt that they were at least going to get Vinatieri in range, to win if not get the touchdown. So I'm still going Brady.
Brady.
Yeah, one game. Give me Brady. One drive with 13 seconds left. Give me Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, also, like, real quick before we get off the topic, Brady did do it with two teams, but isn't it harder to do it with two teams? And let's not forget.
I mean, he did it during the COVID year.
And with Byron Leftwich as his OC, bro.
Dude, and let's not forget, it was his first year with that team. First year, knew everything, and dude just goes out and wins you a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes is, I'm not going to say he's a system quarterback, but he's been in that system. He knows that team, that playbook, like nobody else.
He is the system.
So what happens, we don't know yet. What happens if you throw him somewhere else, to another team, to another coach? So it's, to me, Brady did it with another team, but that's harder to me.
All right, let's move on to this year's outside distractions. All season long we've had this whole thing with the Taylor Swift and all the camera pans and all the things, worrying about, is she going to make it to the Super Bowl? She's in Japan. New phrases term, the Chiefties. They're mixing the Swifties and the Chiefties. There's a lot going on.
That's a good
one. A lot of questions towards Travis about, his relationship. Not so much focusing on the game for the questions. And of course, this week, Patrick Mahomes Sr., he had his third DUI. That's never good for when you're about to play in the Super Bowl. It's an outside distraction. You never really want that. What's the bigger distraction here, boys? Is it the DUI or is it Taylor Swift?
I'd probably have to say, I don't think the Taylor Swift thing is as much of a distraction anymore. Just because, throughout the season, I thought that it might have been because, you would see Travis Kelce, he's out and about, and again, you enjoy your life. You do what you want to do. You've already won 2 titles. You're already, at the end of your career. You have a once in a lifetime, opportunity here. Not going to go much further than that. But anyways, throughout the season, I thought it might have been a little bit of a distraction. But lo and behold, Travis Kelce might have just been sandbagging and just waiting to get into the playoffs because he's turned it up and he's Hall of Fame Travis Kelce again. So I'm not so much worried about that. If anything, I think he's motivated. Saw in an interview, he was talking about, she won Album of the Year. I got to do something on my side. So I'm trying to win, a Super Bowl over here. So not saying that's weighing into my decision on the side, but I do say that to bring up that I don't think that Taylor Swift is that much of a distraction anymore. And the fellow on the left, Patrick Mahomes Sr., unfortunate what happened. I think Patrick Mahomes will be able to compartmentalize and move on, but that's probably got to be the bigger distraction for sure. You never like to see the mugshot go on the internet.
Yeah. Ben, what about you? What's the bigger distraction this week for the Chiefs?
First of all, I had nothing to do with this slide, all right? I'm not Ben Shaderoom, but I don't think either one is a distraction.
Yeah.
I don't think either one is a distraction at all. I thought, if anything, Taylor Swift, but it's been a long season. They've been through it, and it is what it is already. You know what I mean? So I don't think either is a distraction. I don't think that I imagine that Patrick Mahomes Sr. is probably going to be at the Super Bowl. So
with a cigar in his hand, for sure.
Yeah, smoking that special pack.
The Brock Purdy pack.
So
as he likes to say.
Yeah, I hope he says like CMC or Debo. I hope he doesn't say Brock Purdy because that's not going to be very loud. But yeah, he'll be at the Super Bowl. It ain't going to be a distraction. So yeah.
Ron, what about you? The bigger distraction here, your favorite, Taylor Swift or Patrick Mahomes Sr.?
Neither, man. I mean, these guys are.
One has to be bigger than the other.
These guys are the best athletes in the world, and I don't think that anything is even going to bother them. We saw, it's a totally different scenario here, but Arnold Schwarzenegger said like his mom died and he didn't care because he was competing for Mr. Olympia and stuff like that. Wow. These guys' minds are like on a whole different level, man. And honestly, if you're Patrick Mahomes, you're probably used to your pops doing some stupid shit like this anyway
It's his
throughout your
third
whole
one,
life.
so he's probably used to it.
Yeah, it's like if it's the first one and he's
Chill
locked
with
up.
the details, Justin.
I mean-
Dang, bro.
We don't want to be factual on this show.
Like that ESPN reporter girl who brings up all those like outlandish.
Oh yeah,
things,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. Is it like Malika Andrews or who is it
Malika
that does it?
Andrews, you're really in her bag right now.
That's what I have to do.
Justin Andrews. But and then like the boy said, the Taylor Swift has been going on all season. She's at the games. She's hanging out with, all the moms and Travis Kelsey's mom and stuff like that in the box. And now Jason Kelsey's up there. So it's un pinche show, bro. And they know it and they know what's going on. I mean, if this was like it had just happened, say Saturday before the game or Friday, they see him somewhere kissing or he's over there at her concert in Tokyo or whatever the hell she is, then yeah, huge distraction. Right?
I'm just saying that would be pretty insane. That if you went to Tokyo the night before.
Yeah, exactly. If it's something like that, it's like okay, that's wild.
You see just stories of fucking Travis Kelsey flying in the day of. That'd be crazy for sure. Sorry, you made me laugh.
No, man, no, like it's not a distraction to either one.
Yeah, these guys they shake
ratings.
it off, man.
Ratings is what it is.
They shake it off. So
nice little reference, Roland. I like that one. All right, Andy Reid's crowning achievement. Reid is on his way to the Hall of Fame as one of the greatest head coaches in the NFL history, and speculation persists that he could hang up his headset if he wins the third Super Bowl in 4 years. He's turning 66 in March, and the speculation won't end until Reid puts it to bed. Guys, is Andy Reid going to retire if he wins this Super Bowl? Roland, I'll kick it to you.
No, I don't think he'll retire. I right now, we've been talking about, earlier with, Brady and Belichick and stuff. I really think Andy Reid lucked up and found Patrick Mahomes and drafted Patrick Mahomes, right? Because we knew of Andy Reid as a really good coach that, never won the big one. But he had never had a quarterback of the, the ilk of Patrick Mahomes. So I don't think I say all that to say that Andy Reid wants to strike while it's hot. He's going to stay there and ride this out as long as he can. I don't think he'll retire.
Ben, what about you? Andy Reid gone after the season with the dub in the Super Bowl?
He would be an idiot to leave, bro, because, I mean, if we're talking about Patrick Mahomes chasing down Tom Brady, like, Andy Reid could go down as one of the greatest coaches of all time if he just doesn't retire and, rides the Patrick Mahomes wave. So I know it's been the year of the retirement for a lot of these coaches, but I don't see Andy Reid retiring, especially if they win. I definitely don't see him retiring.
Ron, does a win send Andy Reid into retirement here?
Definitely not. I think that he doesn't do well. I say he doesn't do much, right? But like
disrespect.
No. I mean, okay. So another coach that's been in the news, right? Eric Bieniemy. Great coach. They
his
said
former
that,
OC.
Eric Bieniemy, his former OC. He had a lot of accolades. They said he did such a great job in all those Super Bowls, and he was going to get all this praise, and he was going to get a coach. So now that now that he's gone, Andy Reid's still kicking ass, man, and he's kicking ass with guys like Kadarius Toney starting the season, with Pacheco being hurt, with Kelsey, getting distracted. Whatever he's doing as a coach to keep those guys in line, whether it's like Phil Jackson letting Dennis Rodman go on his viajes to Vegas with Carmen Electra and all that shit, or whatever it is, he owns that team. And whether it's the chill approach, whether it's the, do your job, Bill Belichick approach, he has it down and everything is meshing well. It's like the Chiefs can do no wrong with him at the helm, right? And I don't think the GM and the owner put too much emphasis on him doing a great job. I don't think they ever get pissed at Andy Reid. He's over here in the State Farm commercials, chilling in his Hawaiian shirts in the off season. I mean, dude's collecting cash, collecting wins, and collecting championships. So he's definitely going to ride it out, man. No way this dude's leaving. Yeah, and then you kind of have to give him, just real quick, you kind of have to give him the most props this year for pretty much having a crap team and a lot of injuries.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and just follow up on all those points. Is just like, why do you want to leave right now? Like, yeah, you're a little up there in age, but you see
Yeah,
Belichick, he's coaching into his 70s,
Carroll.
and especially when you Carroll too, and especially when you have a Patrick Mahomes, like you don't want to leave that, especially when you can add the hardware to the trophy case, especially with what you got going on. So, yeah, I think he's gonna stay and try and get as many as he can.
Hopefully, he stays around and gives Belichick a run for his money and the most wins.
Hey, and he's a simple
Category.
guy. He's a simple guy too. He just wants his cheeseburgers at the end of the day.
Cheeseburgers
That's
and
all
his
they want.
nuggies.
Yeah.
All right,
Like it.
big game Brock. Purdy's been spectacular quarterback since he took the reins last season, but he has yet to quiet the narrative that he struggles in big games. He tore his elbow in last season's NFC's championship game. He got blown out by the Ravens, and he played poorly against Green Bay in the divisional round. Purdy can create a new story by leading his team to a Super Bowl victory. Roland, will Purdy get over the hump and finally show up in the big game?
I don't know if he'll get over the hump. I'm still kind of undecided on the side here in the game, but I do think that Purdy, he's shown that he's worthy. I think he's worthy of being in this spot. I know we were a little tough on him, especially after that Green Bay game, because his performance was really, saved in part by, his performance in the second half and what he did on that final drive that gave the 49ers the lead. He made a lot of big throws, but other than that, he struggled in that game. He did have a good game against the Lions. And, I'm going back and thinking about it. He was the favorite to win the MVP, like 13 games into the season, pretty late into the season. So this guy has played well in big moments. He's played good. You had the 49ers all off season, all year, pretty much bickering and saying, and, they're kind of being proven right, saying, hey, all we needed against the Eagles last year was Brock. Like, hey, we were down to our third string quarterback. CMC was throwing passes. We just needed Brock to get there. Brock is healthy. He's gotten them there. And I don't think he'll be a liability. So I like Brock. He's proven himself, especially this last game here against the Lions.
Ron, do you think that Purdy can, put these, things to bed here with a win in the Super Bowl? Do you think he has the ability to do it?
Those are two questions there, Justin. But I'm gonna say yes to both. Can he do it? Yes. And I don't know what else you said, but yes to that too. Just based off of how his NFC championship performance was. I mean, this guy was doing the one-legged throws. He was scrambling when he needed to scramble. He was making every single right decision. And I think that the game manager title for him, even if you are a game manager, if you make wrong decisions, you're going to lose your team the game. But this guy just made every single right move. And I think that he can continue that with as talented as his offense is. Big game Brock could have a big offseason payday if he wins the Super Bowl. Because those memes that were going up, Lamar's payroll compared to his payroll, Arch Manning making more money than him in NIL. I mean, does this guy get paid regardless win or lose? I hope he does.
Man, what about you? Can you put this narrative down?
I mean, I think that he has the C on his shoulder pad for a reason, right? They voted him the captain. I know usually the quarterback is voted the captain, but it really does seem like that locker room believes in him. The Green Bay game, I'll give him the pass just based on the weather. And it was bad weather. This isn't a dome. Weather will not be an issue. He has the weapons. This is where you go out and you win this game, Brock Purdy, and then you get a movie deal, for your story of being Mr. Irrelevant to Super Bowl champion before your rookie contract even was up. Like this definitely, obvious, right? Biggest game of his life, but Brock Purdy could really change, his life and career winning this game, like without a doubt, right? You beat Mahomes. I think those questions have to stop, hands down, if you go out there and beat Mahomes. So this is the biggest game, an NFL player has had in football for Brock Purdy. I think this is make or break. Not necessarily break, because I think that he's the guy for them, but
for sure.
That hump, right? Is he that there's still going to be
it's
those
make or break to
questions.
put the narrative down, because if he doesn't make it, that narrative is going to keep around that he cannot win in the big games.
And it's one of those things too. I heard an interesting conversation. I think it kind of rings true that Brock Purdy right now, to me, I think he's only as good as you can keep him on his rookie contract. I don't think he's one of those guys that you can pay and then afford to lose some of the talented pieces around him. I'm not trying to discredit him and say that he's only good because of the pieces around him, like Debo, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, the best running back in the league, Kittle, the list goes on. But I will say, and I'll give him his credit, that it takes somebody to give all those guys the ball in an efficient manner, right? They had Jimmy Garoppolo, and we saw the trouble that he had getting guys the ball. He was Mr. Turnover at times, but Brock Purdy doing his job. I just want to give him his credit, and also kind of just say that I do think if he does find himself in a position for a big payday, the 49ers ought to approach that with caution, because I don't think he's a talent raiser per se.
Ben's movie thing sounded crazy, but you know who else went to the Super Bowl and got a movie deal? Kurt Warner.
Yeah, who do you think's better, Brock Purdy or Tua? Who would you rather have?
Purdy all day.
Yeah, I'm very anti-Tua, so for me, that's Purdy all day.
Would you rather have Purdy or Dak?
Like Jared Goff.
Purdy or Dak?
Purdy. You already know how our season ended. Purdy, baby. Shit. I'm so salty about that.
What about you, Justin?
It depends on the system. Like, if you throw Dak and
Nah,
Shanahan,
just so
system,
generic. Just one.
Yeah.
Just any. You're starting a
Dak,
team.
I'll take
You're
Dak.
going to build around them.
Oh my god. Be realistic, Justin.
I'm realistic. I'll take Dak. If it's any system, then I'll take Dak. But
What
if
about
it
you?
was, Shanahan and Shanahan's system, I'm taking whoever Shanahan's putting up there, because he took Jimmy G to Super Bowl, and now he's taking Purdy to Super Bowl.
What about you, Ben?
Ain't
Bro,
Shanahan.
like this guy in one season has won more playoff games than Dak has. I mean, come on.
it's tough, man.
That's
I'd
so
go-
sad, bro.
I'd honestly, I think I'd probably go Purdy. I think it's close. I don't think it's like a crazy margin, but I think I can trust Purdy a little bit more at this point.
I just think if you put Purdy where Dak's been, in the Cowboys system, Purdy's not doing what Dak's doing.
Man, I mean, Dak has some pretty
Yeah,
good
he's-
weapons to throw.
Purdy's
to.
not doing what Dak's doing. He's gonna win, not fucking lose.
Mhm.
He's not going to turn the ball over in those.
That's right. And then just have the look on
He
his
did turn
face
the
like,
ball over against Green Bay quite a bit too. So
Yeah, but they won. He
they got
got it at
through.
the end.
Good team around him.
Last one. Purdy or Kirk Cousins?
Like,
Tough one, right?
no, it's not, Roland. Like, give a guy that has had playoff success, because it's just so easy to shit on those guys. Like,
So
That's-
you'd go Purdy over Cousins?
yeah, hell yeah, I would.
Because I'd bring that up, Cousins, because he is a name that's being floated around as like a potential suitor in the open market for the 49ers.
It makes
potentially.
sense as the vet, being like a vet guy, right? And he's at the point of his career where he's not going to demand that high contract, so it does make sense. But I think Purdy has way more upside than Kirk
Yeah,
Cousins.
just crazy disrespectful though, if you think about it, that they're having these types of conversations about Purdy, and he's done nothing but his job.
Yeah, and only in his second year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, let's
what else
move
we got,
over.
Justin? Yeah.
Roland, this is your slide right here. We talking bets.
Yeah, this is
Let's
just a go ahead. Yeah, this is just a quick little tail of the tape. Just want to go and break it down for everybody. So as we get prepared to make our bets, we know what we're getting into as far as where these teams stand and their respective rankings. There are some injuries out there that we should mention, like Thuney. I think he's going to be a far reach or a stretch, I think Andy Reid said, to play on Sunday. And that's a big component of the Chiefs offensive line. But anyways, we have the tail of the tape here, the rundown. Their overall records, playoffs included, 14-6, 14-5. Chiefs better team against the spread at 12-7-1. 49ers often find themselves as big favorites, but they're 9-10 this year against the spread. Offensive rankings, we talked about it last time when we were giving our quick takes on who we thought would win. The 49ers, loaded on offense, are second overall scoring and yards. Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, 9th. But then we also talked about it too. The Chiefs quietly have the better defense. They have the second overall defense in terms of yards and points. 49ers been up and down at times, have some injuries in the secondary. They still find themselves at 8th. They have an epic pass rush. But anyways, going on as special teams, a little bit harder to gauge, but they're both kind of middle of the pack. And so we get into the spread. +2 for the Chiefs. You get Patrick Mahomes as an underdog once again. 49ers still holding up at -2. Juiced to the underdog here at -115 for the +2, and that's as of yesterday night or last night, excuse me. Money line +105, -125 respectively, and then we got an over under of 47.5. So guys, just looking at these rankings and where each of these teams line up, do you have a quick take on where you're going? Does any of this stuff matter to you, or is there anything else you're looking at that we haven't talked about, like an injury or something maybe?
Just right off the bat for me, it's overs. This is an over game for me. There's too much offensive talent on the field. We've seen both defenses struggle. Quickest take that I'm going to give is just slam the overs now that it's at 47.5. 27-24 gets you there. Shit. I mean, you don't even need to hit the 30s for this over to cash.
What about you, Ben? What are you thinking here?
I mean, I don't want to be difficult, but just with the narrative that we've talked about with Kyle Shanahan, I'm going to go a little off the board here. I've thought long and hard about this, right? I really dislike Patrick Mahomes, but I'm not willing to just go against him based off of my hate. So I'm thinking Niners first half, just based off the way Shanahan has come out in those big games. Yes, they've gone and they've blown leads. Andy Reid is good at adjustments. So I like San Francisco. We know that, that first quarter, a lot of it is very scripted, the offensive plays. So I like San Francisco in that scenario. I like the, track record that Shanahan has of jumping out early in these bigger games and obviously choking them late. So for that reason, I like the 49ers first half. To be up at halftime, I like the Niners.
All right, and Justin, you've been on the Chiefs side, I think, the past couple games. Are you going to continue riding this train with Patrick Mahomes? Are you confident enough in the Chiefs defense to hold up with their second rating? They have a strong secondary, a little weak against the run. What are your thoughts there?
I think I'm looking at 9-10 against the spread for the 49ers. That's under 500. I'm going to take the Chiefs +2.
All right. So you're with Patrick Mahomes. You're getting +2. Patrick Mahomes as a dog. I think he's only like lost once or something in the playoffs. So definitely gonna want to back him there. For me, we'll get into the key matchups. We have some slides to get into after this, but I'm looking at the Chiefs defense really to do their part here and hold the 49ers in check. I think that's what it comes down to. They can hold them in check. I think the Chiefs, they've shown that they can make enough plays. This 49ers defense has been, susceptible at times. They've given up tons of yardage in previous games. I have the games up here. Don't want to get into each of them, but I do think the Chiefs, if they can do enough on defense, they can make this a game. But, just speaking from the 49ers side, for me, if they can knock Patrick Mahomes off his spot and make this a long day, similar to how the Buccaneers did it when Tom Brady and the Bucs beat the Chiefs, I think the 49ers have a fair shot of winning this game, knocking Patrick Mahomes off his spot, making him run for his life, blitzing him, getting there with the Bosa and Chase Young. Even though Chase Young has kind of struggled here in some of the bigger games, but still got a pretty good pass rush there. So this game is tough to call. I mean, -2-point spread. I think we're going to be in store for another epic game. Or any of you guys see a blowout? No, nobody's seen a blowout. You think this is going to be a fairly closely contested game?
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. I don't see a blowout.
Yeah, I think the only blowout would have been the Chiefs, but they don't have the offense for a blowout this year, especially against, this type of offense. So I see a close game, and, we'll talk about the crazy props later, but I think we might get some free football too. I like free football on this one.
There we go. What, Ron, I know you like those overtime props. Do you see a close game here?
I do, but I said it earlier on last week's show. If the Niners are on, bro, they're not going to be stopped. I mean, Ayuk, Debo, we all know the names. And is the Chiefs defense that great? Well, they rank second on your slide here, so I guess I should shut the hell up about that. But, I mean, the Niners rank second offensively.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, going back to the over shit, 27-21 gets you there. I mean, do we not see 27-21 at least with all this offensive firepower? Or does Vegas know something I don't know? I mean, I don't think we're going to see like a 12-9 game, do you?
No, I don't see 12-9. I see, max like 27-20. Like that's why I have a little hesitancy, pounding that over. But to your point, if this game gets going, because I do think the 49ers defense can be had. If the
Yeah.
Chiefs are making enough plays, Rashee Rice, Kelsey is in Hall of Fame mode. I do think this can be a track meet where the 49ers are having to score because they have the weapons here. I mean, they got Debo, they have Brandon Ayuk. Yes, the Chiefs have a very good secondary. I think there's going to be some tough matchups. There's L'Jarius Sneed. You got McDuffie out there, two very well-known guys on that secondary, going to be matching up with the key players. But I think for me, as long as the 49ers can get a run game going, get CMC involved. CMC is a key. This is why you brought CMC over. This is why you got him. You made the big acquisition to bring him over from the Panthers. It's CMC's time. He's going to have to be the workhorse in my eyes to get this done. He's the X factor for the 49ers, if I were going that way.
Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Albert brings up a good point. Just real quick, shout out to Albert. He says, what did he say? Something about Mahomes being from Texas, right? And like usually we're from Texas, and you always root for the Texas guys. But like Patrick Mahomes is that guy from Texas that you don't like. You know,
I like
Ben,
Patrick Mahomes.
Ben, it's like when you guys, veterans, when y'all were in the championships and the playoffs, and you would go up and play, like Flower Bluff or Gregory Portland, and like those are the Texas guys you don't like. And to me, Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys. Wayne. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to root for that guy. That guy has it all. That guy would come down here and kick our ass.
Yeah,
just me, Albert. Just me.
I mean, and people who win at a very high rate. They have a lot of haters, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people are just thinking the Patriots all over again with these guys.
Winning a lot comes with haters. That's why the Lakers. A lot of people hated Shaq and Kobe. A lot of people hate LeBron. That's the way it goes.
A lot of people hated the Spurs.
Yeah.
What? He just threw them in.
I mean, we're just throwing out, dynasties and teams to sustain greatness. So yeah, for sure.
All right, what else we got, Justin? Because I know
let's
there's
move
several
over.
more, right?
Yeah, no,
And he's got a lot of hateable things around him too, like his brother is.
Yeah,
I don't want to get too personal, but
let's get into some key matchups. So, Justin,
That's
that's
great.
pops,
What's
pops and shit.
what's going on?
Yeah,
here?
like my wife really doesn't like his wife or whatever weight that holds. So she's kind of annoying.
There you go, bro.
Yeah, and and there's extra added weight this year with we talked about it with Taylor Swift.
All right, Roland mentioned it in the last slide. The 49ers pass rush, they went and got better. They got Chase Young in the mix. And we seen the Chiefs O-line be a little banged up this year. Who's going to have the advantage in the trenches, Roland? Is it going to be the 49ers pass rush or will it be the Chiefs O-line?
Man, I'm going to say the 49ers pass rush here has the advantage. I think on paper, these guys should win, especially if Thuney's out. I know these guys are on the edge, but you got to think that they're going to have to compensate a little bit more in the interior, maybe leaving these guys with a little bit more, one-on-one matchups with the outside tackles. So, yeah, give me this 49ers pass rush. And that is one of their paths to victory is knocking Patrick Mahomes off his spot with rushing 4. So, yeah, give me the 49ers here on paper.
Ben, the Niners gave Hargrave big money. They brought Randy Gregory in. They got Chase Young. They got Nick Bosa. They got Eric Armstead. That's a stacked defensive line. Who's going to win in the trenches? Will it be the Niners or will it be the Chiefs O-line?
On paper, you got to think it's the Niners, but all season they've struggled. They have struggled all year. You got to think this is the one where you really dial it up. Obviously, you leave it all on the field. Last game of the season, can't hold anything back, right? But that defense has all those names, like Roland said, and like you mentioned, all the names are there to just put it all together and just stop Travis Kelce, bro. Because that's all you got to do. Like, just stop Travis Kelce. You know what I mean? And I think that they do get it done. I like the Niners in this one. I like Bosa to ruffle up Mahomes. I really do.
Ruffle his feathers, pal?
Ron, the microscope's on that Chiefs O-line. Joe Thuney's probably not going to play this game with his injury.
Yeah, I think I read something that he's out. I don't think
who's winning in the trenches in this game.
The Niners. The reason I'm going to say the Niners is because you're going to need Pacheco in there to block, I would assume, right? So you take the running game away a little bit with that pass rush. And then, like Ben said, just stop Kelce. Right? The Ravens, I don't know what the hell they were doing. They let Kelce have like 4 or 5 yards of space. And in doing that, hopefully the Niners saw that and they have a really great linebackers. I mean, their linebacking core, besides these defensive ends, are just studs, man. I mean, they're fast, they're quick, they fly to the ball. I think that they'll be a little bit more aggressive, hopefully, like kind of, Ben's word, they have that dog in them, and to me, the Chiefs are a little bit more of a delicate team. They're more of a system team, they want to outsmart you. They don't want to go out there and bully you. And
Finesse.
I think,
Finesse.
finesse,
Yeah.
finesse. So if the 49ers can go in there and impose their will early defensively, this game's going to be a wrap.
And for their sake, I hope that they do. I'm not saying that I'm rooting for them, but I do think that it's key that this battle is won for the 49ers in the trenches. I think it's key that they win this D-line versus O-line matchup. Like Ben said, they have the names, but the stats necessarily haven't been there. Last couple games, 3, 2, 1, and 2. That's the number of sacks. 2 being the last game against the Rams, I think, if I'm reading that correctly, or maybe there's some couple games missing. Or that's a regular season. But anyways, you guys get the point. The stats haven't necessarily been there. Hopefully they do come out there because they do have the talent. Like Justin named all those guys. I mean, that's the all-stars roster right there, or a Pro Bowl roster. So, yep.
All right, just stop Kelsey. That's what y'all said last slide. So which tight end will have the better game? Will it be Travis Kelsey or George Kittle? Ben, I'll kick it to you first. Which tight end will be having the better stats at the end of the game?
Yeah, this one's tough. I mean, I know I say stop Kelsey. I think that Kelsey can still have, 70, 80 yards and probably have a better game than Kittle just based off how many, weapons that the Niners have.
Yeah.
But I think that Kelsey will have the better game. You just kind of got to ride the hot hand, right? He's been playing really well. I hope that they stop him. But, even if Kelsey does score a touchdown, the Niners, it's not guaranteed that the Chiefs are going to win. But I got Kelsey having the better game. I'm not going to hate. I'm not going to take my hate to that level. I'm not.
Ron, what about you? Will you be willing to take your hate to that level and say
Hell
George
yeah.
Kittle will have the better game?
Hell yeah. Screw this guy, bro. What does he think? He can have it all? I don't
Your
think
girl?
so.
Taylor Swift?
Who is he? Brady?
the fade.
With the supermodel wife and the touchdowns and the rings and all
The
that
innovative
stuff.
haircut.
No, but man, real talk. I think that I went back to me saying, you need to be a dog, and Kittle's a dog, and he's that guy who can just surprise you, and have a 2 touchdown, 3 touchdown game because the focus is on everywhere else. The focus is on Christian McCaffrey. The focus is on Debo, and like Ben said, you just have to stop Kelsey. And if the 49ers are going to win this game, they have to stop Kelsey, which would lead me to believe that Kittle is going to have the better game. So give me Kittle to have the better game because he can kind of get away from you a little bit. And his routes, they're not, to me, they're a little bit more vertical routes than Kelsey. Kelsey's always like, 4 and out or, little option route, in the middle, little slant. And Kittle can hit you with that, big 30, 40 yarder.
Well, what about you? Who's going to have the better game for the tight end position?
This one's tough because there's such both great talents, at the tight end position. Kittle and Kelsey both been at the top of the game for such a long time. Both Ben and Ron talked about, hey, key to the victory is stopping Kelsey. Well, hey, that's been the key to victory the past 3 games. There's been some other things that have been at play with the Bills. They had a lot of injuries in the defense that might have made it a little bit easier for Kelsey. We'll take that at hand. But for the Chiefs, it's Travis Kelsey, Rashee Rice, and Pacheco, and it's Travis Kelsey, a big gap, and then the next guy. I think it's going to be a lot of Travis Kelsey. I do like Kittle to have a good game. The last time I saw it, I was trying to pull it up because I do want to take it before it gets out of hand if it does. I do like his receiving yards. It was like at 49 when I checked earlier this morning. I do think that he is another key to victory for the 49ers. When Kittle is going, the 49ers are going and are successful. So I like both guys that have a big game, but give me Kelsey if I'm putting my money on it.
All right. Moving over to our penultimate slide here. Throughout the season, the big thing for the Chiefs was the Chiefs drops by the receivers. Do you think this can happen in this game, or are they over that little, hiccup they've had? We saw last week when MVS needed to catch it, he caught it. Ben, are they over it, or will this be some of their downfall in this game?
I mean, I hope it's their downfall. The lights are going to be the brightest. Rice is a young guy. Valdez Scantling is a journeyman. So aside from Travis Kelsey, Pacheco does have that dog in him, and we know how he performed last year as well. So I still think that the drop thing can be a problem, especially with how physical the Niners can be when they're locked in. So I'm hoping that it is still a problem, Justin. And I think, like I said, it's just younger guys, and I think it could affect them.
Ron, what about you? Will this be a problem for the Chiefs receivers?
Hell yeah, I think it is because if they haven't caught the ball a year, what makes you think they're gonna catch it in the damn Super Bowl? You know what I mean? I mean, if
Big as the
Kelsey,
what?
if Kelsey ain't catching the ball, then I mean, I'm sorry, Kelsey has the surest hands, and I don't know. It's like kind of confused me. I'm not gonna lie, so I don't know what to say right now. I feel like a Chiefs receiver dropping the ball on the podcast. See what I did there? I'm done. Let's move to the next slide, pal.
All right, Roland, what about you?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, sorry,
I
Roland.
won't say it's so much of a problem, but it is a big question mark. I'm not gonna. It is it is a problem, but I'm trying to be a little bit more positive because I'm kind of on the Chiefs side here. But it's a big question mark because I still do think you got to hold your breath if you see MVS running down the sideline wide open. That's not a given that he's going to catch that. We've seen him drop that exact scenario multiple times with Patrick Mahomes, with Aaron Rodgers. MVS is still liable to have a big drop, so definitely think it's a big question mark. It could rear its ugly head, but I do think it's less likely as long as he's getting some run on the chat here. As long as they keep Tony on the bench, I think that problem is mitigated a little bit. But I mean, you're still having to throw to Richie James a little bit. But you're going to see Rashee Rice with 10 to 11 targets. You're going to see Travis Kelsey with 12 to 15 targets. You're going to see Pacheco in the passing. You're going to see Justin Watson, some of the more reliable guys. But you still got to hold your breath because MVS is part of the game plan. He's their, a game breaker as far as, the vertical receiver going over the top. So definitely a big question mark and still got to hold your breath in the situations. And if you're going matchup wise, I do think this is, a spot where you can definitely say the 49ers have the Chiefs. You got to like the 49ers weapons, just down the roster on paper versus what the Chiefs are throwing out there. You can give a lot more, what kind of faith, I guess, have a lot more faith in what they're going to do in terms of Debo and Ayuk. And we'll get to, props later, but I think Debo is in for a big game. I think he should be at least.
All right. Let's get to the fun slide, Roland. This is the last slide for us today, and here are the props.
Yeah, man, we got some props. As always, it's fun to talk about props. Don't want to get over your skis and, have like $300 worth of props at the end of it. Want to do this responsibly, of course. But there are some fun props, some of the more well-known props. I know Ben has some in the tuck that he wants to talk about. But for the most part, these are some here that I wanted to talk about with you guys and the chat at large, really, if you guys have any thoughts on any of these. We start off, as always, with the national anthem. Has gotten a lot of traction over the years. I think this past year, or with Reba McEntire being the singer, opened up at like 84 and a half seconds. As of last night, that's been bet up to 90 and a half, so a minute and a half for her rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. I have not done any research on her past performances, so I'm just going to side with the over and go with the steam here before it gets any further. And I know people are going to start looking for, the audition times. She's going to be auditioning in the next couple of days. Someone's going to break that news, so be paying attention to the Twitter sphere or X if you're into that kind of thing, because that happened last year. Somebody got a hold of the recording beforehand or the audition, and the number skyrocketed. So play that one with caution, but right now over 90 and a half. What do you guys think on the national anthem?
I feel like we've normally seen that a lot closer to 2 minutes than a minute and a half. So, I mean, I'm thinking the over, but She's
a country singer.
I was going to take it a step further, but I ain't going to be that disrespectful.
I'll say it. I know what you were going to say.
You don't have
I was going to say she's pretty old, so she probably wants to get.
That's what I was going to say, Pat.
Yeah, she's
old. That's not being disrespectful. That's just, you got to take that into consideration. Go ahead, Ron.
I feel like she might take her time because she's old, She might put her own twist. I feel like it's going to be an over. at a
No, I
minute
was
and
gonna
a half.
say it's gonna be an under because she can't hit those notes the way she used to anymore. And on the biggest stage, you want to get in and you want to get out.
Nah, she's
You
gonna
can't lip
try.
sync. You can't lip sync the national anthem because
Yeah,
so
that's bad if you do that.
yeah.
Well,
So
she's
you
not gonna lip sync the national
no,
anthem.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. She's not
You
gonna
get
want to
one
like.
shot at this, Ron. You're not just gonna speed through it. Like
You're of
gonna
course,
That's not what he's
try
saying, though,
making-
Ben. You're not hearing him.
No, but yeah, what I'm saying is you don't want to stretch out those notes that she could probably hit 5, 10
He wants to
years ago
minimize the
that she
risk.
can't hit
Yeah.
now. Yeah,
No,
so she's gonna be like
do it.
her
She's
notes
got
are
one
gonna.
shot at doing it. She's
Nah,
gonna
dude,
go
she's
big.
Reba McEntire. She doesn't need to like go prove herself that she's a good singer. She's gonna go out there, go get on, get off, and hey, I'm done. Pay me my money.
I'm on the over.
What about you, Jess? Where are you on this one? Or do you think this is too much of a degenerate bet?
No, I like this one, and I do look forward to the Reddits
Degeneration
and the
X.
Twitters to see the the rehearsal. The rehearsal cut has given it away these past years. They can tell you more or less what it's going to be like. They've been pretty close. So Ben was talking about some free money. Here's a chance. You follow along. You got a chance of getting some free money out of this.
All right, I'm gonna go with the over here. I do want to pay attention to the Twitter sphere like we were talking about and see who gets a hold of the audition tape. But yeah, always fun betting on this one. An even more fun one, even more of a degenerate bet. I've seen some tweets of like guys getting in fights with their significant others over losing some money on the coin toss of all things.
Big
Ron, what are you doing on the coin toss here? Is this too much for you, or you sprinkle a little heads or tails and try and get a quick?
Nah, the lines aren't big enough. I would rather go to if I'm gonna sprinkle on something, I'd rather do the next one, the touchback. That one's always fun because it's like the ball's in the air. What's the guy receiving it gonna do? And I hope he doesn't do this. That's
and Ben, unless you have a take on this one, we'll go.
I mean, I'm part of the club of Tails Never Fails.
Yeah,
you know what I
me too,
mean?
Ben.
Like that's me. I'm part of the club, but I don't know if I can't get myself on the coin toss.
Yeah, I don't think I'll do it either.
Shout out Mondo. I'm gonna be with Mondo.
Bro, I could throw $5 on the coin
I know
toss.
Mondo
no
has
problem.
been on that like the last two Super Bowls. So. He likes cashing before the game starts.
And Ron alluded to this prop, and this one maybe has a little bit more analysis to take into consideration. But the opening kickoff, will it be a touchback or not? Will the kick receiver or the receiver take it out of the end zone, as we often see, or kneel it, or will it just go straight out over the goalpost, as we've seen, Butker do from time to time? We've seen the yes get steamed. It's -310 as of last night. No, +245. I think you got to consider, the kickoff did get moved up, 5 yards a few years ago, and that's kind of why we've seen this number get out of hand. Ron, you mentioned you like betting on this one. Where are you going this year? If let's say Butker, are you confident that he's for sure kicking it out of the end zone?
I wanted the guy to bring it out. Who doesn't want to beat Devin Hester?
Oh, so you're betting the other side. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna bet -310, so I'll probably just lay off. Oh wait, opening kickoff touchback. Oh, then no, 245. They bring that shit out, bro. +245. I'm taking it.
Yeah, someone could go rogue. You never know.
Yeah, hell yeah. Who doesn't want to score on the opening kickoff, bro? Get your team started, bro. Get it out to the 50 at least,
Or don't screw it up. Just jog back to the sideline and take in the moment, right? I think that this is a for sure touchback. Kickers too, they got to be juiced opening kickoff of the Super Bowl. They're definitely trying to put it out of the back of the end zone. So I think it's rightfully juiced for that reason.
Yep.
And plus, none of these teams have notable return guys like that, So I don't like the no at all.
What about you, Just?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with yes. It's super juice. I won't bet it, but I think it's gonna be a touchback.
And Ryan in the comments, shout out Ryan and watching over in Nevada. Actually, he's kind of near the game in the same state. But anyways, he said reading a story that it's not actually 50-50 heads versus tails. And I just pulled it up. He's right. It's actually 30 times in favor of heads and 30 tails, 27 heads. So we're going into Super Bowl 58. Tails is in the lead by 3 games.
Gotta catch up.
Yep. So I agree. No run back either. I think the juice is appropriately placed. Although it would be fun to see somebody just go rogue and just take it out 10 yards deep, like you see, like Justin Watson or somebody do that. That'd be funny. Another one here to talk about jersey number of the first touchdown scorer. So we have touchdown scorer props. CMC always juiced to score an anytime touchdown. We have first touchdown scores, but this one is for the jersey number that will score the first touchdown. Will it be over 22.5 or will it be under 22.5? So a couple guys on both sides. You got Debo that's on the under. He's at 19. I think Brandon Ayuk is also a teen number, if I'm
11.
not mistaken. He's 11.
11.
CMC is 23. Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, if he gets in on a run, he's 15. Pacheco is 10. Rashee Rice is 4. Kelsey is 87.
I
I usually like taking the over on this one, and when you mentioned Kelsey, McCaffrey, those are two of the main scorers, for both teams. But there's a lot like Debo. There's just too many options that I really don't like this one, to be honest. Yeah,
Ayuk, they're all under. That's 3 to 2 on the under. So I think
both
you're right
quarterbacks as well. And we've seen Purdy use his legs in the playoffs. We know Mahomes does it. Yeah, I don't like this one. I think that it's a toss-up.
Louis in the chat. Louis, ¿qué pasó con los Ravens, Big Lou?
If you're with Louis, he's saying number 4, Rice, first touchdown. You'll go on the under. What are you thinking, Ron?
I'm going to think Louis is left out one number 4, but there's another 4. Isn't Juszczyk number 44?
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah,
That's
gonna happen, bro.
That's interesting.
That's gonna happen, bro. Just watch. They're gonna get it at the 1. Everybody thinks that McCaffrey's gonna get it, and then just boom, beat your power dive,
Hey,
and then everybody's gonna go you.
That could happen. He's gotten a lot more usage these past couple of games. Had a couple big catches last week.
I bet you the odds are wild on him.
I bet.
But yeah, I think Ron, Ben, and Justin, you guys all bring up good points. It is scary, especially if the number of weapons that fall under 22.5. But I can't bet against CMC and Kelsey, both known touchdown scorers for both teams. I think the guy who gives me the most worry maybe is Pacheco, because we've seen the Chiefs. They trust him around the goal line. They like handing it off to him, so he's always a threat. But I'm gonna go with the over here if I'm betting on this one. Although I do think it's more fun to bet on the actual player to score the first down. It was too long to list all those guys out, so went here with this prop. A little bit more fun prop, and then we'll get into some of the ones that we like personally. If you guys have any to talk about, Gatorade color for the winning coach. People are already trying to get this information out there. Information is a valuable thing, but we got purple in the lead as the odds-on favorite, plus 225. Yellow, green. That's a little bit of a gray area for me combining the colors, but I guess that's a Gatorade thing. Plus 300, orange plus 300. There's a couple not named. Any of you guys bet on this one, or is this another one that you just stray away from?
Nobody likes red Gatorade, or what? Why is that on up here?
I think it's too basic.
Yeah, you don't like red because it
stains. Yeah,
it stains. Okay.
I mean, if I'm getting 2 colors in one, shit, give me yellow green.
Give me yellow value on that deal right there.
Yeah, just like, how does that work? I don't get it.
Plus, I'm colorblind as hell, so yellow and green, they look sometimes look the same to me.
I'm not betting on this because I ain't gonna wait till the very end of the game. Especially if the Chiefs win, I'm turning it off. So I don't know what color he's gonna get doused in.
Bro.
So I ain't trying to wait till the end
Ron
of the
is
game.
so anti-Chiefs. It's like he's not hiding it at all.
And then
no, I love that.
Use check plus 3,700.
Ooh, that's pretty spicy for first touchdown.
So they're gonna play on grass. I thought they were playing on turf because it was Las Vegas. This is interesting.
Well, Ryan with some West Coast information over here. Grass out of Modesto, California, the same place the Niners get their grass field from. Is that an advantage? I did see the 49ers were complaining about their practice field and their practice conditions at UNLV this past week. Don't know how that was sorted out. But if this is the case, I mean, we saw what happened. I think last year's a little bit extreme with the sod father or whatever they called that guy in the field with
all the
slipping across the field. But I maybe this is an advantage, but I don't think too much because I think the Chiefs play on grass too. So I don't think anything to be gained there.
Hey Ryan, since we have you on
inside information.
Since we have you here, can you tell us who killed Kennedy?
Hey, he's got the.
I'm guaranteeing the over on the national anthem. I'm going on the record and guaranteeing it. bro.
All right. So on the over there, Ben, that's a locked in play for Ben. You pound that
Consider
whale.
it a lock, bro.
10
Can't
unit
lose.
10 unit max play. And then over here, always a fun bet. I will be making a wager here on this one that we're about to get into. Super Bowl MVP. You got Patrick Mahomes, of course he's the favorite, plus 125. Purdy plus 225. CMC plus 475, a shade under 500. And then you got Kelsey all the way at plus 1200. And then some big names. I think L'Jarius Sneed is the shortest rated defender. I think he's like plus 2,000 or plus 2,100, something like that to be MVP. But he is the shortest rated defender. He's the playmaking defensive back, the guy who forced a fumble against the Ravens last week or the week before. So guys, are you going here? Shortest name on the board. If you're going with the Chiefs, you got to go Mahomes. Or where are you thinking here? Because I think you guys might be siding with the Niners. So if you're siding with the Niners, where do you go?
Yeah, like for me, the strategy here would be I like Debo for the Niners to possibly Super Bowl MVP.
Okay.
He's got to have pretty huge odds, and I would just hedge that with a Mahomes for the same price as the Debo ticket. Just because if the Chiefs win, it's got to be Mahomes that's going to be the Super Bowl MVP. So I'll hedge that Debo to win MVP with the Mahomes to win MVP.
I got Ben. Debo is at plus 1,500.
Yeah, X Factor. Give me Debo. Debo and Mahomes for me.
Justin, who you got?
Yeah, just give me one ticket and I'm taking Mahomes.
Mahomes. I'm going to go with CMC at plus 475. I mean, if this dude gets in two times at least, possibly even 3, how do you not give it to him? And Purdy doesn't really have those crazy passing numbers, touchdown numbers. He doesn't really have that pizzazz. He does have that game manager title like we've talked about all show. So I don't know if he would get it. You got to give it to the guys who are getting in the end zone. And if it's the 49ers, I think the player that gets in the most is going to get the MVP. And I think that's CMC. And at plus 475, those are pretty good damn odds right there, boys. I mean, Purdy at plus 225. I mean, I know he's a QB, but you think he'll do that much if to win MVP for the Niners if they win the game?
The QBs always get the shorter odds.
Yeah, QBs get the shorter odds, but Ron took the words right out of my mouth. But for me, I'll just provide a different angle. As far as going with CMC at plus 475. For me, on the game side, I haven't made a bet personally, but I am leaning towards the Chiefs. So as a way to kind of hedge my bet, I'm going to bet on the Chiefs a little bit. And I might sprinkle a little bit on CMC because I do think that if the 49ers win this game, it is through CMC. We're going to see CMC in the end zone 2 to 3 times. We're going to see CMC as a receiver. We're going to see CMC as a rusher, obviously, but we're going to see him involved and often. And you don't play games here. You don't switch it up. You don't get away from your bread and butter here in this situation. And CMC is their bread and butter. So I'm going CMC. And I do like Ben calling out Debo kind of as a long shot. Don't know if there's anybody on the Chiefs that I take as a long shot, because it's Mahomes or bust for the Chiefs. But give me CMC here to hedge my bet if I'm taking the Chiefs a little bit.
All right.
But yeah, any other props that you guys want to talk about? Receiving props, other fun props. I know there's a lot of cross sport props that come out kind of closer to the day of the game. Ben, I see you looking at your phone. Any props that you want to mention here?
Yeah, I'm trying to look at some props too. But...
I'm honestly still looking. I did for the first touchdown of the game, I did like Pacheco for that one, just like you mentioned, of them giving him the ball so close to the goal line.
Sure.
But I know it kind of goes against my 49ers first half. They can both still be true, right? But
yeah.
I do like Pacheco. I don't know, for some reason I have a feeling about Pacheco, and I mean, we know how hard the guy runs. They like to reward him and feed him, and he's pretty undeniable down there at this point. So yeah, Pacheco first touchdown for me.
I kind of like Pacheco. Speaking of Pacheco and just keeping it there, I like his as of this morning. I think it was 16.5. I like his carries. I like his carries over 16.5. I think the Chiefs, in addition to showing that they trust him at the goal line, I think they've shown that he's part of their game plan early and often. Like as far as like, if they win the game, it's probably because Pacheco's gotten close to like 60 to 70 yards or something like that, and he's touched the ball a healthy amount of times. And I think he's cleared that number all but one time in the past like 4 to 5 games or something like that. So Chiefs are pretty dedicated to the run and dedicated to Isaiah Pacheco. So I would look at his carries, his rushing carries. His yards is like at 61. So I think that's in play too. But I'm glad you brought up Pacheco because I do like his carries this week.
All right. Any more prop bets that y'all have or want to talk about?
I can't think of any right now, bro.
All right. Well, this is the Super Bowl, and along with the Super Bowl, we got to talk about the halftime show. Are you guys excited about seeing Usher during this halftime show? And do you think he's going to bring anybody out?
First of all,
bring someone out with him.
That's a crazy slide right there. That's a crazy pick of Usher. But
that's the promotional one they went with.
That's crazy. But I'm excited for the halftime show. I think Usher is a great choice. I don't know if there's like better names that you could have thrown out there, but I think he checks a lot of boxes. He has songs that span multiple generations. He's got 90s, early 2000s, 2010s. So he's got songs that have been there for a while. He's got a good catalog. Got a good vibrant music. Features. I mean, you guys maybe Ben knows better than me, but I don't know who he would bring out. Little John, maybe. Yeah, that's a good one. He had one of his bigger songs. Little John and Ludacris, I think definitely in play to be brought out. But other than that, not too sure. But looking forward to the show. See if they have any surprising things up their sleeve.
Ben, are you watching this halftime show or are you taking a piss break? What's up?
Probably not a piss break, but I will be taking another type of break. I probably won't watch the halftime show. I mean, Usher does have his residency in Vegas, so he's kind of owns Las Vegas, right? This is his Super Bowl. We know Jay-Z was in charge of getting the halftime performance ready. So through Usher, that bone, like you said, I don't think that there's a lot of people that don't like Usher. I think it's pretty safe Super Bowl pick. I think it's something that we definitely could have seen Usher, putting that notch on his belt of Super Bowl performance because he has been that big and for that long. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I probably won't watch most of it.
Ron, what about you? Are you looking forward to Usher?
Sure.
Ron's ready to let it burn, bro. That's what Ron wants.
Man. Hopefully he comes out like chilly, and they like reconcile on stage in front of everybody. The girl from TLC, that's who the song was about, Ben. But no, man. I mean, it's always cool when you see performers like this who are gonna like move and dance and jump. Like Rihanna was pregnant during hers, right? So I can't really hate on that. But I didn't really like seeing her.
Justin gave her a harsh review. I remember that episode.
Yeah,
Justin came on here the next day and gave her like a 3 out of 10. You remember that, Ben?
Yeah, thanks, Albert. Pregnant, bro. I mean, come on, bro.
I remember that.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like a Bruno Mars, The Weeknd. Those guys were cool. The whole rap thing.
Bruno Mars is dope. I like that one.
Bruno Mars,
like more like entertainment style vibe.
Lady Gaga was cool. Katy Perry was cool too. I like Usher.
Yeah, they really don't miss. I mean, it's Super Bowl. So
they've gotten better with their selection over the years.
Usher's a legend, so I mean, I feel like it's kind of like.
And I think he's one of the guys too. Out of all the choices, that I think he'll have the most people singing along. Like you talked about "Let It Burn."
Yeah,
he has a lot of people that are going to be singing the songs along. Like a lot of people know the words to his songs. So I think that's important when booking a guy. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, the singing is good, right? Like there's not like some sound thing where you can't really hear him, or the singing is. I mean, maybe it's. I don't want to say trash, but not good. I don't know. It's crazier things have happened. We've seen Fergie, have a moment, not comparing Usher to her, but we'll see.
You think they'll bring Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake back?
Dude,
you want a moment like that?
Halftime show for real. Hey. I think he could be a guy.
I think he has a new album out.
He's banned. He's banned.
Oh, we'll see.
Benny.
Yeah, Lil Wayne needs to get on the stage for sure.
They go to New Orleans again. It's got to be Lil Wayne.
Can you all see Drake being a Super Bowl halftime performance before he hangs it up, or no?
I thought Justin said he saw Drake doing something else with the mirror.
I don't know if he'll ever be that big of an artist.
You're
Yeah.
I was actually just
bro,
informed
then
today
stop,
about the whole Drake
bro.
thing.
What, dude?
Stop, bro.
I don't think he'll ever be that big
I
of an
hate
artist.
the guy, but he's probably already as big of an artist as all these.
Yeah, dude.
Nah.
He'll get the
Wait, Roland,
halftime
did you say
show for
Drake's
sure.
not big enough for the Super Bowl?
I don't think so. No. I
You're
don't think so.
lying, bro.
I mean, he's
I mean,
bigger
does he
than
do? Wait,
Fergie.
wait. Let me ask you a question. Is he doing stadiums, or is he trying to go to the AT&T Center with the Frank Irwin Center and stuff like that, and playing in Orlando? I'm just asking. Is he doing
Not
stadium?
everyone needs to do a stadium to be for the Super Bowl, bro.
I mean, I think it's a good start.
Like,
think
I
it's a
think
good
he's a
start.
bigger artist than Bruno Mars and The Weeknd.
That's what I'm
No,
yeah.
What
No.
you think the Weeknd passed Drake as far as being a bigger artist?
dude. Yes, a long time
Roland,
ago.
keep a straight face.
A very long time ago, it happened. I mean,
The Weeknd?
The Weeknd, yes. I mean, it's not even.
This is
not even
so-
close.
That Mexican OT,
not even
Johnny
close.
Dang.
Hey, The Weeknd, he's still touring an album that he dropped 3 years ago, and he's
But that's
filling
top
out.
tier album.
And
I'll
he's,
give
and
you
he's,
that.
fill-
You know,
and he's filling out stadiums, not little 8,000, 10,000 seat stadiums or arenas that Drake is. Like, this guy's doing
but
arenas.
it's not like
Hey, what
Drake
the hell,
has-
dog? We've been talking sports all night, and then like all of a sudden, Gabe, Allen, Ryan, everybody's like just Albert, and then, like we're talking Super Bowl artists, and like
80,
everybody's on now.
90,000 people.
Listen, I hate the guy, but he's already big enough to do a Super Bowl halftime, bro.
No, I don't think so.
He's no look. Somebody said, Gabriel, international popularity. Yes. What? Nobody knows Drake in Europe or what? Like, or in Asia or
I'm
Australia?
just saying, man, there's levels to this. He's doing arenas. These guys are doing stadiums. Like, it's different.
But he's done stadiums before.
No, I don't think he's ever done a stadium tour, like headline.
Someone find that out, because that's crazy.
I would
mean, the guy-
really like to see J. Cole.
I wish it
That
were
would be
different.
fucking
I wish
sick.
it were different because I'm a Drake fan. I think Drake's awesome. I like his music. I would, be happy if he were a Super Bowl performer, but it would have to be in conjunction with a bunch of other artists, like they did it with the West Coast guys. Like, you'd have to have, like, it'd have to be like a Drake, a Lil Wayne, a generational type thing. It can't just be Drake out on his own. He's not
with
big
Nicki
enough.
Minaj.
They have to do Young Money the Super Bowl halftime.
Like,
Like
guys, like
Kendrick?
Drake doesn't have enough songs in the Super Bowl that The Weeknd had. Like, The Weeknd had, it's just not close. It's not.
No, but also it's the genre of music. Like The Weeknd, Bruno Mars, that's pop. A lot
Yeah,
of
exactly.
People,
It's
a lot of
different.
people listen to pop.
Pop is
So-
very more. It's wide reaching.
I mean, albeit that Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem did it, but I mean, they're like
But they were all together.
iconic. Yeah, they're like
conjunction with one
iconic.
another.
So I think it's not the popularity of the musician. I think it's the genre of music.
So what about Bad Bunny then, Roland? Is he a bigger artist than Drake?
Yeah, for sure.
That-
Dude, it's not crazy.
That I
The
could
most
side with.
streamed
not
artist
That's
of all
for
time.
sure. I agree with that.
Yeah,
This is
that I
not
could
crazy.
side
This is
with.
not crazy talk. The Weeknd
Everybody
is a
knows
bigger.
Bad Bunny.
Justin, the Weeknd is a bigger artist than Drake.
Because he does stadium tours.
Yeah,
He's a
and
bigger
he's
artist.
a
That's the only-
Grammy winning artist. He's a platinum selling
I don't
artist.
care about Grammys. Grammys are political.
All the
And-
numbers that
and he's
Drake
in
has,
wrestling,
all the
Justin.
numbers
You
that
should
Drake
like
has,
that.
the Weeknd
I
has.
just looking
I
at the
guarantee
plays,
you.
bro. Looking at the number of
Go
plays.
look at the plays for the Weeknd. I guarantee you.
And
It's
Drake's
there.
up there.
Hey,
I mean,
man.
he got all the Spotify numbers. I mean, that's hard to beat. Like,
All right, well, fuck Drake, bro. Let's
That's
close out this
crazy.
podcast with our predictions. Let's
starving,
go on the
bro.
record
Yeah,
with
yeah,
our
yeah. Let's
predictions.
go on the
Let's
record.
close it out.
Hey, and that's enough. Yeah.
Oh, Kanye.
no,
would be
let me hear it.
dope.
Let me hear it, Roland. What were you gonna say?
Kanye would
I'm
be
interested in
dope.
I was gonna
We're
say
not going from Drake to Kanye, bro. I'll log off right now. I swear.
All
Wait,
right,
who said
now
Kanye?
we can talk about the game.
Roland was about to go into that.
Oh, you were?
I was just going on a rant, but no, I'm good.
I want to
But
hear it, dog. I
no,
like
the,
this combo.
the game.
No,
let's go back to the
Rolando
game.
Gonzalez.
We had the game, the tail of the tape. We talked about the key matchups. Ben wants to give our hard takes on the record. We are going over an hour here,
Who
getting
wins?
close to an hour 30. Who wins? Ben, you wanted to give the pick. Who do you got?
Yeah, like I said, I'm going Niners first half. I'm going Niners with the game. Let's get Shanahan over the hump, and let's throw a wrench into this highway that Patrick Mahomes has to the GOAT talk. So give me the Niners. Give me the Niners to get over the hump.
All right, I will have 49ers 27, Chiefs 21. CMC will be your MVP with 2 rushing touchdowns, over 100 yards, 5 catches, and CMC the God.
Hey, don't forget the lotto numbers. Throw in the lotto numbers.
That's true. That's true.
I get the
Watch
7
him hit
digits from your
exacta.
motherfucker
That'd be
dollar
awesome.
tomorrow.
All right, I'll give my pick real quick. It's taken me this whole pod to make up my mind, although I was on the Chiefs early on. I've been hearing a lot of 49ers discourse, and, I was kind of going on that side, but I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm not going up against Patrick Mahomes. Yes, I do think if the 49ers are able to make him scramble for his life and really take him off of his game, they can win this game, and I won't maybe run away with it, but they'll win the game. But I'm not going against Patrick Mahomes in this situation. Yes, they're the underdogs, rightfully so, but they have a good enough defense to keep them in it. I think he'll make enough plays, extend enough drives with his legs like he's been doing all playoffs. We've seen, like we talked about with this 49ers pass rush and the names being there, not necessarily having the sacks to show for it. I do think they'll be able to hold them at bay a little bit. So give me the Chiefs here. Give me Patrick Mahomes getting another step closer to Tom Brady.
Yeah, the proof's in the pudding. I got to go with the Chiefs. They've been there. They've done it. Shanahan has never done it. I'm not going to be a believer until he shows me that he can. So give me the person and the team who's done it. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, again, like I do think the 49ers, like Ryan said, they look good. They're a tough team. On paper, they have all the weapons that might even tilt it in their favor. I mean, they're lined up as a favorite here. But it's just, for me personally, I can't wake up on Monday with a losing ticket because I bet on the 49ers and I went against Patrick Mahomes. I'm just not going to do that.
I can,
like I told you last week. I'm just already treating these guys like Bama. I'm treating these guys like the Patriots, where I'm going to bet on them every time. They might lose once or twice, but I'm on the side of where I think Patrick Mahomes is going to end up with 4, 5, or 6 titles, and this is going to be one of them. So give me the Chiefs here.
Patrick Mahomes, high ankle sprain, first quarter, he's out.
But I will sprinkle a little on that CMC MVP plus 475. I like that.
McCaffrey has a huge game. Hey, they're talking about our hats. Before we go, let's show the brim babies on here. What do y'all got as we sign out?
I just got a little Florida Marlins cap.
Florida Marlins.
And this is like a kind of like a Christmas type color. Got the light brown, dark brown, some red sprinkled in there. But yeah,
I do like that colorway, Roland. That's nice.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And Ron reliving the glory days.
That's actually my birthday right there. That's the last time they won the damn Super Bowl.
An antique.
Tough times, man. Tough times.
An antique like I guess, bro.
It's true. But hey, maybe we'll drop a little card with all of our plays. I know there's a lot of props. Want to share the fun with all you guys and share what we'll be betting. Side totals, props, player props, game props, and stuff like that.
And we'll be back also, Roland. I'm thinking, Monday after the Super Bowl to talk about what happened in the game?
Huge Chiefs fan. Todd just showed up. Yeah, so when you guys want to go on? What do you got? You want to get another show in or nah? Monday?
I think Monday after the Super Bowl is, we got to hit it quick, because it's fresh in everybody's minds.
Let's do a little recap for sure. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. Honestly, I don't see a blowout here. Just like last takes on the game before we sign off and whatnot, getting close to hour 30. It's going to be a close game. Both these teams evenly matched. I don't think there's a clear cut, advantage or disadvantage anywhere in where there may be. I do think it's the other team has enough to overcome whatever disadvantage that might be. So I don't think there's anything that's glaring out there. The Chiefs O-line is a little, sus if you're a Chiefs backer. You'd never like to see those injuries there. But I see a close game here. If I were given a score prediction, give me Chiefs 24-20. That's what I see here. So
the under.
Yeah, I'd go under if I were to make a bet, but life's too short to bet on the under. Wouldn't want to do that. Any other takes before we sign off today, guys?
Nope, I'm good.
I'm with it. I'm out.
All right, we'll see you all Monday. Peace.
Later. Thanks.